Thank you. Good afternoon. Please sit down. Your Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, Secretary Melda Nicolas, Secretary Patricia Licuanan, Secretary Laila de Lima, Secretary Greg Domingo, awardees of the 2014 Presidential Awards for Filipino individuals and organizations overseas, fellow workers, government honored guests, mga minamahal ko po kababayan, magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. When I was looking at the program and I saw that Leia was going to sing, I said, well, we are indeed very fortunate. Who would not want to hear Leia sing? And you've come a long way in your 21 years, Leia, talaga. Of life, huh? Of course, we have our own artist in residence here at the palace. No? We have a very efficient Secretary of Justice who also performs the entertainment functions from time to time. But not at this time because she's preparing a lot of memos to guide certain quarters with regards to tackling Ruby. So not today. I'm sure we'll be able to prevail upon her at some future time. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as President, I'm confronted each day with a seemingly endless stream of issues and concerns, each of which claims to be the most urgent and demands my immediate attention. Part of my job is prioritizing which urgent concern to address first. For instance, this week we have been preparing for Typhoon Ruby, which entered our country's area of responsibility yesterday. This involves coordinating all agencies to make sure that they are working in the most efficient manner possible so that we can greatly reduce the risk to our populations and minimize the sufferings of those that will be affected. This we have done on top of all the issues that likewise need appropriate solutions. Events like this awarding ceremony then are very welcome as they provide me a respite, no matter how brief, from the heavy and never-ending demands of the job. Each awardee in this hall today has an inspiring success story that infuses a little more positivity into our lives. We have those who have championed better lives for Filipino migrants abroad, and those who have become channels through which the world can witness the excellence of the Filipino. It is thanks to individuals like you that Filipinos abroad are able to cope with the many challenges of being far away from home. This is something I know slightly from experience. Some of you might know that during the martial law years, my family lived in exile in Boston. Back then, it was the warmth and solidarity of our countrymen that kept the fire of hope alive within all of us as we continued the battle against the dictatorship. Indeed, it is men and women like you who help to forge a sense of community on distant shores and who display to the world the innate talents and drive of our people. I have no doubt that those of you who have flown in from abroad have seen that while many things have changed in our country, some things will always stay the same, namely the warmth our country is known for, both literally and figuratively. Some of you may have already caught up with relatives over some home-cooked adobo. But perhaps if you take a closer look around, you will notice that the Filipino people have made even grander preparations for your return and for the eventual return of the rest of our countrymen abroad, a country that is revitalized and filled with optimism. Over the past 4 years and 5 months, the support of the Filipino people has allowed us to turn our country's fortunes around for the better. In May of 2010, they voted for the idea that was the heart and soul of our campaign for the presidency, encapsulated in the slogan, "Kung walang korap, walang mahirap," or in English, "Where there is no corruption, there will be no poverty." The backing of the Filipino people has allowed us to pursue major reform after major reform. It has allowed us to overhaul our budgeting processes so that we only spend our people's money on projects that will benefit our people. It has helped us foster a fair and level macroeconomic environment, winning the confidence of investors and thus leading to more expansive opportunities for our people. It has allowed us to channel the state's resources to invest in projects geared towards health, education, and poverty alleviation, thus empowering our countrymen to make the most of our current economic resurgence. Our people's continued support has likewise made it possible for us to pursue all those who have erred against the people, regardless of their power or influence. Perhaps you have seen in the countries you reside in the dramatic change in how the Philippines is perceived. As economies all over the world are still steadying themselves after the uncertainty of recent years, the global community has made no secret of the renewed belief in our country. Credit ratings agencies around the world have granted us a total of 20 positive credit ratings actions during our term, with the most significant ones coming last year, when Moody's, Standard & Poor's, and Fitch unanimously granted us investment grade status. We have gone from being considered an economic basket case to being referred to by some as Asia's new tiger. We have made continued and significant progress along many global measures of competitiveness, including the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index and the World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Report. In fact, just yesterday, Transparency International released its 2014 Corruption Perceptions Index, where the Philippines improved once more, marking a 49-place improvement for our country since 2010. You will also be interested in the strides we have made in the aviation industry. Last year, through the hard work of the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines and our local carriers, the International Civil Aviation Organization lifted the significant safety concerns it had previously issued our country. This was followed by the European Union lifting the ban on Philippine Airlines. This 2014, the EU did the same for Cebu Pacific. Needless to say, this means that we can expect direct flights to multiple locations in Europe to increase in the near future. In 2014, the United States Federal Aviation Administration likewise upgraded the Philippines back to Category 1 status. Thus, we can also expect an expansion of routes going to and from the United States. The implications are wide. Filipinos such as yourselves will now find it easier to come back home. Tourists and businessmen alike will also find it more convenient to visit our country and see what we have to offer. This was made possible through the leadership of CAAB Director General William Hotchkiss, the Corporation for Airlines, and the continued backing of our people. Indeed, times have changed. As you continue your work in your offices, your community centers, your studios, your clinics, and laboratories towards the pride and upliftment of our people, you have a government and a Filipino people that is working shoulder to shoulder with all of you. Together, we have given rise to a global community where Filipinos can truly hold their heads high. While the awards you receive today are symbols of your success, I am hopeful that you also treat them as invitations to continue your pursuit of excellence and the way you bring pride and honor to our country. Let us continue doing our very best to fulfill our individual roles in nation building. We have changed the way the world sees us, and we must build on this. We must ride our current momentum and show the world that the excellence of the Filipino knows no bounds. Thank you, good day, and an early Merry Christmas to one and all.